and welcome back to the BuzzerHeaters podcast. Follow us on Twitter at BuzzerHeaters. Follow us on Instagram at BuzzerHeaters. If you don't know by now, get with the program. We're college students. We take college takes. We're done listening to Jalen and Jacoby. Jacoby, he's an old man. He doesn't know sports from our perspective. We're college students. We grew up in the social media era.
Damn right we did.
Our takes are going to be different. We're taking our takes and we're going to elevate them to you through this platform. And you know what? Today we're going with a very popular route, which is brackets. And we were robbed of March Madness this year. When I say robbed, absolute robbery. One of the biggest travesties we have all experienced throughout our lifetimes. Not having March Madness. It is so awful. So today, you know what? We're what are the most entertaining teams we've lived through? What are the most entertaining teams? Maybe it was a Louisville team. Maybe it was a Duke team. Today we discuss. And we're going to give you our final four of most entertaining college teams we have seen in our lifetime. And you know what? I'm going to start off with an honorable mention. And that team is the Kentucky 2014-2015 team. They lost in the Final Four. They lost in the Final Four versus Frank Kaminsky in Wisconsin. Frank the Tank. Man, is he ugly, but he can get buckets. He can get buckets. This roster consisted of Karl-Anthony Towns, who's an atrocious defender. Don't get me started. Willie Trill Cauley-Stein.
Willie Trill.
Wish he was better in the NBA.
Agreed.
Trey Lyles, San Antonio Spur, whatever. Doesn't even matter. The Harrison twins, who are iconic college basketball players
Hoopers
for
too.
our time, for our era. Tyler Ulis, short king, stand up. Alex Poitras, who I think if he didn't tear his ACL would be electric. They went undefeated for the whole entire regular season and then lost in the tournament. What do you guys feel about them?
They're honestly one of our generation. Regardless if they won the championship or not, you could argue they're the best team we've seen. That might not be my personal take, but if someone gave me that opinion, I would accept it.
I forgot it, but you know what's crazy? Devin Booker came off the bench for those guys. They were the sixth. He was the sixth man in college. That man can shoot that
is
fucking
how
pill.
good this team was. Devin Booker, a perennial NBA All-Star, came off the bench in college.
I saw this man play in college.
Sure.
He was wearing all blue shoes in college. Look it up if you don't recall.
Oh, so
he
much
looked
swag.
Much
swag.
Nope.
Really?
So unathletic. I did not understand what the scouts saw. I was like, "What? This guy is a six man for this team. He looks super unathletic. He's wearing all blue shoes. What is this guy after? Barely could shoot." I was mind blown.
I think he was drippy, but maybe I think he was dripped because of the swag he has in the NBA, and maybe
You're delusional.
am biased for that reason. But that's just my take on it.
However, I gotta say that they will always remind me of the 73-9 win Warriors. They just couldn't get the job done when it really counted.
That is a huge aspect.
They will always go down in history, but when it mattered most, they came up just a bit short.
That is why they are one of our three honorable mentions instead of in our Final Four.
Hell of a team.
Hell of a team, but they did not meet their expectations. Hard as that is to say for a team that went undefeated and made it to the Final Four.
I'll argue that Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist had a better team. MKG obviously didn't translate at the NBA level. Hell of a defender and a sick, tenacious work ethic in college. Anthony Davis, ugly, unibrow, but it's his brand. It's like James Harden. James Harden has gone so far deep where he cannot shave his beard because it's his brand. He's the beard.
Yep.
Anthony Davis, I think he wants to shave the unibrow, but he can't because he knows he is the brow and he's obligated to the unibrow. But that team was so elite. They won the national championship.
I would love to see those two teams play.
Listen.
Would be elite.
Davis was so dominant in college. I don't know if Karl-Anthony Towns would be able to compete, but that 2014-2015 Kentucky team, they were just amazing to watch. Every single player on the court at all times was a high-quality star. They were just a great watch.
They knew what they were doing.
Moving on to our next honorable mention before we get to the real Final Four. Syracuse 2016, a surprise Final Four team with a roster including Tyler Lydon and Malachi Richardson. No real stars there.
I will say they came to Chicago in the Elite Eight.
Right.
And they played against Virginia. And London Prentice was the point guard for Virginia, and he was just like knocking down threes that game. It was like inevitable that Virginia was going to make the Final Four, whatever. Tyler Lydon, doesn't even fucking matter if his shoe comes off and he knocks down a three-pointer, if you guys remember that.
I remember.
Knocks down shots. They ran the zone to perfection. There's something with Jim Boeheim.
Jim
where
Boeheim,
he's
shout
just-
out for that zone.
Honestly,
In ACC play, he's a bum. He's not great. It doesn't even for some reason he doesn't give a fuck. And then it gets to the March Madness NCAA tournament, and he turns the fuck
tourney time is Boeheim time. No one should be surprised by these Syracuse runs. There was some magic within this school that translated to dominating the NCAA tournament. Malachi Richardson was an absolute pleasure to watch the entire tournament, and honestly, there were times where I thought this team could truly win it all.
Yeah, Boeheim's testosterone had to be
that
all-time high during that run.
That defense
All-time high.
was something. Wow.
This team, as good as they were, they just didn't have the star power. They didn't make the championship to put them in our Final Four of the BuzzerHeaters tourney. So we're going to move on to our third and final honorable mention.
And that
with
is
the 11 seed Loyola Chicago from 2018.
Not only did they defeat Miami, I think it was a buzzer beater. Tennessee on another buzzer beater, like close to it, like two down to the wire games. I mean, what was her name? Sister Jean? She was something else. She ran the whole city of Chicago. Not only that, she was the face of a college team, which didn't even make sense because she was maybe 100 years old.
No sense at all.
Which is the craziest thing ever.
She was 99 at the time.
99. So not even exaggeration that she was 100. Then they went on to beat Nevada with the Martin twins who they look alike, and one is significantly better than the other, but holy shit, were those guys good.
I wonder if they got pussy or not.
I don't know, dude. They're not that attractive.
They're kind of
And they went to Nevada at the end of the day, but Nevada seems like a sick party school.
I would agree with that.
Like, you're close to Las Vegas in a way, like same state. You know your ball, like you're the man on campus, dude. They grabbed ass.
They then beat Kansas State with legendary coach Bruce
Kansas
Weber.
State.
Yeah.
Who was the surprise? Yeah, I think this Loyola Chicago team was the biggest snub in our Final Four. Every game, this team either made clutch shots at the end or made crazy comebacks to come back and win.
Craziest of
Yeah.
comebacks.
I remember in the Final Four, they were up 10 versus Michigan at one point.
Wow.
And this team was a joy to watch. They make March Madness every fan's dream, and Sister Jean just added to the fun. And I think this team was an absolute pleasure.
I'm with you that this team was a sick story, but never once did it cross my mind that they were taking down the champions.
Villanova.
Never.
Yeah.
100% agree.
I agree. Villanova
They were never
was
on that
sick.
level? 100%.
Who was that motherfucker from the 2018 Kansas State team that hurt his ankle? And Dean Wade.
Dean Wade.
Shout out Dean Wade in the chat.
Dean Wade.
Wow.
Shout out Dean Wade in the
Name
chat.
drop.
Much love to Dean Wade.
Cleveland Cavaliers right now.
Ball.
He's in the NBA. I mean, he's trying to work it. He's in the G League, but he can shoot that pill.
Nice mid-range. Nice
I
mid-range.
mean, he low-key throws down for an unathletic white dude, to be honest. He can dunk that ball.
Mad respect.
And now we're gonna head in. We're gonna dive deep into the Final Four of our most entertaining teams bracket, and I think the 4 seed has to be the 2012-2013 Wichita State Shockers, coached by Greg Marshall. Ended up 30-9. Wow, did they have a crazy run in the NCAA tourney? And they were one of those teams, like small market teams, tiny team, but they had names that like translated on a national level. Everyone remembers Fred VanVleet from Rockford, Illinois. Shout out. Ron Baker. Oh my God, could he shoot that fucking pill? And Cleanthony Early did not. I mean, he got drafted or undrafted. He ended up with the New York Knicks. He didn't turn out to much. Obviously, Van Vliet has been the best player on that team. But,
so sick in the NBA.
But all of them were so sick in college. They were like a triple threat trio.
Yeah, I gotta say, for anyone who hasn't seen Cleanthony early play in college, look up a highlight reel. He was phenomenal.
He was very solid.
He was phenomenal.
I mean, that team was not just electric. They were everything, fundamental. They had the times in the game where you were just like, holy shit, bro. But then they had the times in the game where you're like, dude, nice pass, nice bounce pass. Like, they just had everything working for them.
Yeah, and they were in that game versus Louisville until the end. I think they could have easily beaten Louisville in that game, and who knows? They were good enough to win the national championship.
100%.
I just need to put this out there. Ron Baker's a great player. Watching him play, it's always a good time.
Shock the world, baby. That was their motto. They did it. They did it.
Whoa.
They were good enough to win the
close.
national
They were
championship.
very
I 100%
close.
agree.
100%.
I just want to put it out there. Saw Fred VanVleet play in high school in the state semifinals. Legendary experience.
Yeah.
He went on to prove himself, and now he's a legend in the NBA.
It's awesome in the NBA.
So there are 4 seed for most entertaining teams, and they get the 4 seed because they were electric, unbelievable team, but they weren't as fun as some of the other teams that we're going to mention coming on. And you know what? We have our 3 seed coming up, and I would argue this team was more entertaining because they didn't just do it over 1 year. They actually did it over 2. 2010 and 2011, coached by Brad fucking Stevens of the Boston Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he coached these teams to the national championship. Butler Bulldogs.
I mean, yeah.
Gordon Hayward led those teams, and
Shelvin Mack, baby.
Gordon Hayward was a legend, but Shelvin Mack was the glue man. And not only that, if Gordon Hayward's half-court shot against Duke went in, would have been the greatest run in college basketball history.
I remember watching that game, watching a shaggy-haired Gordon Hayward put up that shot from the left side of the court at half court. Oh, it was heartbreaking to watch that ball hit the backboard and then front rim, just like we've all done a million times at the park. It hurt to watch. That team, it would have been the best win in NCAA history. It was heartbreaking.
Talk about perfect college basketball. That team was a great story, great watch. The way they played on the court together, coached by Brad Stevens. Truly a great experience. If you've never seen them play, check them out. Gordon Hayward, absolute baller.
Defensive intensity was off the charts. Brad Stevens knew what he was doing, and he executed it perfectly. I still don't understand how that shot versus Duke did not go in. Like, the physics doesn't even make sense. I think every sports fan in the world besides trashy Duke fans wish that shot went in.
Trashy, dude.
I mean, to be honest,
that's heartbreaking. I could watch that today, and my heart could still sink that shot didn't go in.
I think the craziest thing about the run is that this skinny kid who played for a small Indiana college in Butler, who probably couldn't bench more than the fucking bar itself, led this team to the national championship. Like, he was the face. I mean, he's obviously turned out to be a solid
Very
NBA
solid.
player.
Very solid.
If he didn't get injured, I think he'd still be a perennial all-star every single year. But that being said, in college, he was skinny, looked unathletic, looked like just your regular backyard hooper, and he was unbelievable. And that's why I respect him the most.
Yeah, and then a year later, they did, like, the same thing.
Second year, yeah.
Yeah, they, again, ran through the NCAA tournament and, again, came up short into the finals against a team who we will be talking about right now, actually, the 2011 UConn Huskies.
UConn Huskies is our 2 seed.
Step back.
And you know what?
There's only one name that comes to mind.
It started in the Big East tourney when Kemba Walker hit his Kodiak Kemba signature step back jumper from the free throw line. Holy shit, did that guy fucking probably party his ass off after that shot.
And
holy shit.
Yeah, and for everyone who thinks, they had Kemba Walker, they were supposed to win the Big East tournament, they were the 9 seed. They played
seed.
every fucking day, and Kemba put the team on his back and carried them to the Big East tournament.
I'll argue-
And it didn't stop there.
I'll argue that Kemba Walker might have been the biggest UConn celebrity of all time. All time.
Easily. It's not even an argument.
I think this is the greatest individual performance run in NCAA history.
I agree with you there.
Veteran guard leading his
Incredible.
team. That's what the March Madness is all about. Beat Kawhi Leonard in the Sweet 16 at San Diego State University.
Unbelievable.
I mean, there's nothing more you could have asked from Kemba Walker and the 2011
His
UConn Huskies.
his professors, like, he walks into the classroom and you're like, oh, Kemba, nice game yesterday.
You don't have to do any work.
You don't have to do any work. Like, here's an A+. Kemba's like, oh, I don't really care. I'm going to make the NBA anyways, but academics matter. Trust me. They all matter. We all are college students here. Academics matter. Maybe not for Kemba Walker because he has that killer fucking step back and can do whatever he wants because of his skill set. But for most of us, academics matter. So Kemba gets an A+ in the classroom because of his step back and gets an A+ on the court. It's a win.
Kemba gets an A+ in life for this. This was absolutely magical.
Legendary.
And when you think of 2011 UConn, it's not UConn at all. I know there's other players on the team.
It's Kemba.
It's Kemba. It's Kemba's run. It was not UConn's. But that's what makes it so special that one player
Kemba,
could actually take over a whole university like that.
And it's not even that they were rolling through decent or okay teams. He faced stiff competition in the tournament.
Every time.
Carried his team all the way for the victory.
Yeah, and you know what? We're going to go on to our number 1 seed in the Final Four of most entertaining teams we have lived through. And you know what, guys? I think this was a no-brainer. I mean, if you're talking about posters, if you're talking about the Lob City, and I'm not talking about the Clippers, I'm talking about the original Lob City. If I'm talking dunks, when these guys are putting their nuts in the other team's faces while slamming the ball down the hoop, there's nothing that you can talk about other than Shannon Brown and the Florida Gulf Coast University. In 2013, the 15 seed, they strolled out against Georgetown and Otto Porter Jr., who was a 2 seed, who many people had to win their brackets.
And dunked all over them.
Oh my god, dude, it was lob after lob after lob, and every single play was a dunk, and they just ran the fucking court. It was so electric, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, first 15 seed to ever made the Sweet 16. I mean, this team was just electric in every way, shape, or form. I wish I could watch this team play every single March Madness. They were an absolute joy to the eye, and I wish this team would have kept going.
I can't even imagine the madness at the university after watching a 15
crazy party
take down number
nation.
2.
Dude.
I mean, this college will forever be remembered by this team. As long as time goes, no one will forget this team. The Florida Gulf Coast is embodied by this 2013.
Yeah,
I'm just going to
NCAA
say
run.
I would have liked to be a member on that team during that time.
I'll argue that it was more fun to be just a student at the university. Those parties were probably fucking bonkers. Being in Florida, they probably went to the beach and they probably had senior spring break 7 weeks early.
I truly think that they changed a university. Like, that's incredible. Incredible.
I remember their merch was being sold. I remember no one had heard of this university, and then my friends were buying Florida Gulf Coast shirts.
I have a Florida Gulf Coast shirt.
Yeah, no, they were an electric university, electric team, and you know what? That's why they deserve the number 1 seed. They deserve the number one seed because of, obviously, their play on the court was so fucking sick to watch, but mostly because the university probably partied so fucking hard after these games. There's nothing like it. But yeah, at the end of the day, we were robbed of March Madness, and we are interested to hear what are the most interesting teams or most entertaining teams you guys have heard or seen throughout your time of watching college basketball? March Madness is one of those times where literally any team. SF Austin was so sick one year. I remember Northern Iowa was dope one year with Jesper Spin, whatever his name was, hitting that half-court shot against Texas. All of this can go on and on forever. There were so many teams. We would like to hear yours. And you know what? This was Buzzer Heaters' take on all of this. We hope you liked the episode. Follow us on Twitter, to be honest. We're at Buzzer Heaters on Twitter. We're on Instagram at Buzzer Heaters also. And we're just really quickly, we're going to pick who we think wins. I think FGCU is the most entertaining team.
I got to go with that 2011 UConn.
I'm going to take Gordon Hayward back-to-back.
Yeah, I gotta go with FGCU.
All right.
Absolute electricity.
So that's our takes. We hope you guys like the episode. And you know what? Now we go on to our sponsors.
Oh.
And today, sponsoring our episode of Buzzer Heaters.
We don't have any sponsors yet. Please sponsor us.
We don't have any sponsors. Please fucking sponsor us. We're sick and tired. We just want to sponsor someone. We really don't even care at this point. Manscaped is our number one thing. We want to be clean downstairs. Dude Wipes is one of those things that
Shout out to Uber.
Uber, oh my God, get
Uber
anywhere.
everywhere.
If you
Everywhere.
get faded at a party and you need to get home, Uber is the way. Lyft, shout out Lyft. I know it's more popular in California.
Shout out Lyft.
Not
I
around
can only
here.
use
Shout out
Lyft.
Lyft.
Uber doesn't work on my phone.
And you know what? At the end of the day, watch Dave, Hulu, Lil Dicky,
Shout out
phenomenal
World Series
show.
of Poker.
Please sponsor us, all of you guys. Thank
Shout
you
out
so
Hulu.
much. This was our latest episode of
Sayonara.
Buzzer Heaters. Peace out.
Episode number 5. Peace out.